Hey guys, so today I'm filming my Hit It or Quit It thoughts on hauls number 17. If you've never seen this video from me before, I'll have my playlist linked down below. And basically, I will be reviewing all of the products that I featured in a haul video about 10 months ago. And oftentimes, once you see something featured in a haul, you never hear about it again unless it's in a favorites or an empties. So what I do is review every single item that I hauled and let you know my current thoughts on it. My inspiration for this series is It's Kirsten and her What I Thought on Stuff I Bought series. I'll have her playlist and her channel linked down below. Make sure you go check her out. She's one of my favorite YouTubers in general and I love this series from her. It's also one of my favorite series to film. I will also have the original haul video linked down below and I will list and link all of the items that I mentioned. So let's just jump right in. So if you guys watched last month's thoughts on hauls, then you would know that I had been on a palette kick because there were so many great holiday palettes out, and honestly since this haul I really haven't purchased any more palettes. I've received a couple from companies, but I haven't purchased any because I realized after this haul that I'm not a palette person. You guys are going to be so ashamed of me when I tell you how much I used the next three palettes I'm about to share with you. So the first one is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush Palette, which came out in holiday 2014, and I really wanted a 2013 blush palette, but of course it was limited edition, sold out. It had 4 amazing blushes and their matte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer that had the best colors and the best packaging out of their 3 blush palettes in my opinion. From the 2013, the 2014, and this year's palette, the original was the best, and I really wish I was able to get my hands on it. When it comes to this palette, the packaging I think is hideous and bulky. I absolutely hate it, but I can really get past the packaging. And the colors are pretty. I like these 2 colors over here a lot. This nude color does nothing for me and I'm extremely fair, so if you're any darker than me, that's not going to show up on you at all. So the blush quality in the Tarte blush palettes are far superior to their single blushes. The single Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes are probably my least favorite high-end blush. I find them to be so densely packed that I cannot pick up product on my brush, and they get hard panned so quickly. I cannot tell you how many layers I've scraped off of my blush to get to the product. If you're thinking about swatching those blushes, don't, because that's what ruined mine, was swatching them over and over again. I never use like a wet brush or anything, so I don't know what the problem was, but I do not like Tarte blushes. When you get them in little minis and holiday sets, the formula tends to be better and smoother than it is in their singles. The blush quality and formula wise in this palette is really nice, but I never reach for this. I'm not even a blush palette person, and you guys know how much I love blush. I just love singles. I reach for them way more. This is a good quality palette, but I believe I will be selling this. Honestly, I've used this 4-5 times. So let me know if you'd be interested in this palette. I mean, as you can see, I have kept it in very good condition. I just don't get any use out of it, so there's no point in keeping it around. So my next palette is the Too Faced Everything Nice, which was 2014 holiday palette. I do have a get ready with me / review on this palette, which I'll link that video up here. And again, I missed out on the 2013 holiday palette, which out of 2013, 2014, and 2015 holiday palettes, it was the best. So I wish that I had gotten the holiday Tarte and Too Faced palette in 2013 and I would have been much more pleased. I actually think I would have used that blush palette more and the shadow palette more. So I did get the 2014 because I was so disappointed I missed out on the year prior, and I just don't use this. The packaging is much more bulky than it was 2013, and the packaging is okay to me. It's kind of childish, but it reminds me of Eloise in the Plaza, which I love. That book, the movie, everything. I think it's so cute. So you do get 20 shadows here. Some nice colorful shades and some neutrals. I really do like Too Faced matte shadows. Some of the shimmer shades don't have a ton of pigment to them. So that's a bummer. Some of the like more colorful shades don't have that much pigment. And then you have the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer, their Inner Light Highlight, and 2 blushes, as well as some really crappy brushes, which these brushes suck, honestly. I haven't even really played with them much because they suck. And that's the reason that the packaging is so thick, is because they stuck the brushes in there. I really could have done without them personally. This also came with a mini Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which is one of my favorite mascaras of life. Probably the best part about this palette is I was able to try out Chocolate Soleil Bronzer, which is very, very impressive. This is the original Chocolate Soleil. And I was able to try Papadon Peach Blush. So Too Faced used to have blushes back in the day in 3 or 4 different shades, and the packaging was very similar to the Balm. It was like vintage pinup style. And those were discontinued a very long time ago, and one of those shades was Papadon Peach, and I always wanted it and was never able to find it. So to get it in this palette was awesome, but I don't reach for this palette so I can use that blush. I have probably not used this palette since I did that Get Ready With Me, which is just disgusting of me to not have used it since then. So from this holiday palette, loved the Better Than Sex mascara, love the face products. The eyeshadows are just okay. They're hit and miss between the shades. But I have heard that the Too Faced palettes of this year suck. Like, the pigmentation is just not there. I heard that the Ulta exclusive palette is the best out of all of them, but I'm not wasting my money on any more Too Faced palettes or palettes in general. And my very last palette is the Kat Von D Interstellar palette, which came out in January, I believe, or late December. And this was my very first Kat Von D palette. So Kat Von D has had eyeshadow palettes in her line for a long time, but then she got rid of all of them and came out with this new packaging, new formula. There is the Monarch and Chrysalis palette, and then the Interstellar palette. And I really do love purples. I love taupey colors. I'm someone that really loves warm tones and cool tones, and I feel like I can pull them both off decently well. So I was really excited to get this palette. Now, the formula of Kat Von D shadows, in my opinion, are very similar to Lorac. I don't like that formula. These shadows are really pigmented, but really powdery. So in this palette, there are a couple different taupey shades. This one, this one, this one, and this one that all look similar, but not the same. I was wanting to do like a monochromatic eye look. When I put them all in my eye and, you know, applied them, blended them, it looked like one color. I was so disappointed in that. And that's just because I don't like the formula of the Lorac or apparently the Kat Von D shadows because they are too powdery. Now, I really started using eyeshadow with MAC shadows, which are like really densely packed shadows that you kind of need to work into. I've gotten used to that type of formula. So the really powdery kind is not for me. I just really tend to beat them up without trying. And I don't like shadows that are overly blendable and that look muddy, and I feel like I get that with this palette. I do want to work with it more because the colors are stunning. Maybe I just didn't know how to use them at first and I can figure it out. So what I think I want to do in the year of 2016 is do a palette a week challenge. My friend Amanda from Fashion Footing is doing that and seems to be really enjoying it, and I'm hoping that will help me use my palettes more. So let me know what you guys might think of that. Maybe I'll try to do a video every week. Might be hard. Maybe every month, let you know my thoughts on the palettes that I used that month and what looks I created, what were my least favorite, my most favorite. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. I think that's something that I need to do so that I use my palettes. I am just somebody that likes customized palettes. My MAC and Makeup Geek shadows are my favorite because I put my own palettes together. Those are the ones that I reach for the most. The only pre-made palette that I actually use a ton is the Balm Me Matte Nude. Then I had purchased one thing from Ulta. This is the Bare Minerals Marvelous Moxie Lip Gloss in the shade Perky Peony. In my thoughts on hauls last month, I talked about Forbidden Nude. These lip glosses are awesome. I do have a review on them that I will link up here. They are pretty pigmented and they feel amazing on the lips. These are some of my favorite lip gloss formulas. I haven't used them in a while because the last time I used them, my lips not really broke out, but they just like were completely chapped over and it took forever to heal. Now, I don't know if it was these lip gloss formulas that were doing that to me, but I haven't tried them since because I'm afraid that's what it was. I will try them again because the colors are beautiful. I do love the formula and I want to figure out if it's this lip gloss formula that really made my lips break out. So then I placed a huge ColourPop order. Before this order, in the summertime, I purchased 6 shadows, and that's when they only had shadows in their line. Then they came out with their Lippie pencils and Lippie sticks. They had done a collab with Coffee Break with Danny and Kathleen Lights at this time, so I decided I was going to place a huge ColourPop order, get some Lippie pencils, Lippie sticks, and a bunch more eyeshadows. So that is what I did. And first thing I purchased was their Lippie primer, which was a new product that came out right before the holidays, and this was like only available 1 or 2 days before the holidays, and then after holidays at the beginning of this year they added it to the permanent line. And I just don't have a lip primer, so I wanted to try one out. Honestly, I don't know if this does anything at all, but I don't have a tendency for lip products to bleed on me, so I might not notice if it made a difference or not. Let me know if you've tried this and whether it's made a difference or not, but I still think it's something fun to have because I've never tried another lip primer before and it was only $5, so love to know your thoughts on this. Then I purchased 4 of their Lippie pencils. So I don't use lip liner very often because lip products do not bleed on me. I use lip liner sometimes if I really do want to define my lip line because my lip line is the same color as my skin, as are my lips. So sometimes I do need to define it, especially if it's going to be a bright or a deep color, to make sure I stay in the lines. So I purchased 4 lip liners, 2 MAC dupes, and 2 unique lip colors. So this is probably my favorite lip liner formula. I have some of the NYX retractable lip liners, which are nice, but I find that I cannot fill in my lips with them because they get really cakey and uncomfortable. But these glide onto my lips so easily while staying in place. So if you're looking for a lip liner to fill in your lips completely, the ColourPop are amazing. They are my favorite lip liner. So if you are someone that really loves lip liner, you need to try these out. So the first 2 shades I have, which are MAC dupes, would be the shade Bound, which is a dupes for MAC Whirl, which you guys know is like super duper popular. And the other shade I have is Wet, which is a dupe for MAC Stone, which again is very popular. I have not worn the Wet shade very much, but I have worn the Bound shade a bunch. I loved using this with the Lippie stick in Westie. It was like my favorite lip combo over the spring. And then I went with the Neon Peach shade in Cake and the Neon Lavender shade in Brills because I've never seen lip liners this color, and I actually have used these a ton. So I use these a lot in the spring and summer when I was trying to use up my Revlon lip butter and Strawberry Shortcake. Because it was a sheer formula, I would layer it over top of these lip liners to give different effects, and like I said, because these do glide on the lips so easily, they were perfect for that combination. So if you have Revlon lip butters, try them with your ColourPop lip liners or any lip liners and see what kind of effect it will give. I think it was really cool. That's how I got the most use out of these. So this one is Cake, which is the Neon Peach, and this one is Brills, which is the Neon Lavender. So ColourPop lip liners are pretty darn awesome. I have purchased a couple more shades since then that I really enjoy, so you guys should totally pick these up. Then I had purchased 7 Lippie sticks. This was my very first time trying the ColourPop Lippie sticks. I do have an entire review video on the lip primer, lip pencils, and Lippie sticks, which I will link up here if you guys want to check that out to get my full thoughts. And I swatch all the colors on my hand and on my lips. Of course, I purchased a ton more colors since then because ColourPop has my heart. Lippie sticks are only $5, as is the Lippie primer and Lippie pencil, and I purchased a ton of beautiful, beautiful shades. So the first color I purchased is Brills to match their Lippie pencil. The next shade I purchased is Cake, which is a satin finish to match the Lippie pencil. And then I have Bound, which is a glossy finish. It's a light mauve pink. I do have the Lippie pencil, but the shades are very different. The Lippie stick is a lot lighter. Then I purchased Rocket, which is a satin finish, and it is a bright neon pink coral. The next one is Button, which is a satin finish, and this is a wearable neutral peach shade with a satin finish. Next I have Lumiere, which is a matte finish. This is a beautiful dusty mauve color that is a dupe for NARS Audacious Lipstick in Anna. And this was ColourPop's collab with Kathleen Lights. And the last shade I have is Frida, which is a satin finish. This was ColourPop's collab with Coffee Break with Danny. This shade looks so different on everyone. So the ColourPop Lippie Sticks are some of my all-time favorite lip products. I love the matte finishes and their new sheer finishes. I would love to know your favorite shades and finishes because you guys know the addiction of ColourPop is real. Then I purchased some more ColourPop shadows. I purchased one quad, the Megan Naik quad, if that's how you say it. The first shade it came with is Onai, which is a satin finish. This is a great brow bone color. The next shade is Amira, which is a metallic finish, which is a really beautiful dirty gold with a ton of different colored glitters throughout this shade. Then we have Lectra, which has a metallic finish. This is a beautiful purpley red color, one of my favorite ColourPop shades. Then we have Farrah, which is a matte finish, and this is a neutral leaning cool tone deep brown. Then I picked up one of their original released eyeshadows in Amaze, which is a really pretty rose gold color. This is one of my most used ColourPop shadows. Then I had purchased 3 ColourPop shadows from the fall 2014 collection. The first one being Mittens, which is a satin finish, and this is a warm tone chocolate brown. Then we have Lace, which is a pearlized finish, and this is a beautiful deep purple color. Lastly, from the fall collection is Game Face, which is an ultra metallic finish, which is a incredibly bright pigmented copper color. Lastly, for ColourPop shadows, I have LaLa, which is an ultra metallic finish, and LaLa was originally released in a holiday quad, but then ColourPop decided to make some of the most popular shades sold individually, which I love. I really hope they do that this holiday season with some of the shades from their 6 palette of shadows, because some of those colors are amazing, but not enough that I went to buy the whole set. So anyway, this is LaLa, which is an amazing rose gold color. I absolutely love this one. The ultra metallic finishes are my favorite. I do have an entire review video on ColourPop eyeshadows, which I'll link up here in case you want to see that, but ColourPop shadows are absolutely incredible. You need to have at least a few of them in your life to try out the formula. I would love to know your favorite shades in a comment down below as well. And lastly, I have some products from Makeup Geek. So first off, I purchased a Makeup Geek pigment. This is the only pigment in my collection, and this is the shade Utopia. Now, I saw a ton of New Year's Eve tutorials last year using this pigment, and it's amazing. It is so beautiful, and I haven't used it yet. This is such a dramatic color. I feel like I don't have a place to wear it to. I do want to do a look with this, hopefully fall in love with it, maybe even wear it for New Year's Eve. It's a great color, and I haven't used it yet, which is just shame on me, but it intimidates me a little bit because it is so dramatic. Then I had purchased 4 Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and I have 9 currently. I purchased more since then, but the shades that I had purchased were Shimma, Country Girl, Frappe, and Bitten. Amazing. I do have a review video on Makeup Geek eyeshadows, which I will link up here. And my tutorial of the month for September was using these 4 Makeup Geek shadows in a drugstore Marsala look. I'll have that video linked up here as well if you want to see these shadows in action. Makeup Geek shadows are one of my new favorite formulas. Honestly, my top 3 eyeshadow formulas would be MAC, Makeup Geek, and Anastasia. They are as amazing as everyone says. The shade variety is incredible. Not only does she have the original regular type of shadows, she has the foils. She just released a bunch of new mattes, and she has duochrome shadows. I am going to be purchasing some of the new mattes and duochromes. The shadows in pan form are only $6. Makeup Geek does sell Z palettes on her website. That's where I purchased mine. amazing, amazing, amazing. If you guys have not tried Makeup Geek shadows, you need to. As you can see, a great variety of neutrals and bright shades in their line to choose from. I have not been disappointed with a single shadow that I've tried so far. So Makeup Geek shadows are holy grail to me, I'd say. The formula is incredible. I would love to know your favorite shades down below. So guys, that was my hit it or quit it thoughts on hauls number 17. So I would love to know your thoughts on these products if you've tried them out. Thank you so much for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.